fuck it, I need me a check. I need it. Saying with love, now that I'm found, I really need my respect. I really need it. Nobody but me in my head. Nobody. I'ma do me till I'm dead. Do me. If I gotta fight for my soul, then fuck it, I might as well go for the neck.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? How we doing? It's your boys. We're back at it again for episode 14.
And another one
of the Us versus Us podcast. Welcome back, and I appreciate y'all for locking in for 14 of them. Prolly, how you doing? How you feeling today, man?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. You know, life is lifing right now, but I feel good. I feel good to be here. Happy to be able to do this. What about yourself, man?
I mean, I've been pretty solid. I think that this week is a lot better for me than last week was. I feel like a lot more just upbeat, more just locked in, tuned in. You know what I mean? And it's kind of crazy because last week I was like trying to hype myself up to kind of do and bring the energy that I'm bringing this week, but it finally came. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, when you said like life is like kind of like life and stuff like that, what do you mean by that?
Nah, man, just mentally drained. You know what I'm saying? Getting to the point where we're coming up on probably New Year, and everything. So
yeah.
Just really trying to put life into perspective and everything, and just trying to be grateful and everything. And it gets hard, because you start to get distracted, and you start to like kind of feel like time's working against you, and financials are working against you, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So it's been trying to get ahead of that, trying not to like feed into the doubts and all that good stuff, so.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I always try to give you the best advice of everything, you know what I mean, and just try to always kind of bring you back into like to remembering, to be grateful for now, you know what I mean, and appreciating things that are right here in the moment. All time is right now, you know what I mean.
For sure.
We have and shit. So.
For sure.
I mean, do you want to kind of go into that, or would you prefer like we kind of go on, or what's
I mean,
up?
like I don't know. I think it's definitely important to acknowledge it. Something that like kind of, I don't know, something that happened over the weekend that kind of like stuck with me. Was we had like a little get together for our family and stuff, for our uncle, and that was really cool and everything, and to be around everybody definitely makes me feel older.
Oh yeah,
being around everybody. But our grandma kind of like pulled me aside and was like, yo man, like, are you all right? Like like, you cool? Like I don't know, like it's just something about you like makes me like want to check up on you, you know what I'm saying? And so taking that into account for the last like couple of days, I think having that kind of I don't know, kind of remain with me for the last couple of days made me kind of want to put life into perspective and like kind of check myself and see like where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? And we had kind of talked about it a little bit when you was giving me a ride here for me to go to my game and shit. We were just talking about like, sometimes you do kind of like need that awareness, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes like grandmas, moms, people of that nature kind of like,
yeah, they have that sense, right? They just have the like something, they could just tell something's off about you or anything. I mean, like when somebody watches you like grow up, and you know what I mean,
right?
Like, and they're part of your life, because I mean, I would say grandma knows you pretty well, you know what I mean, and she knows when you're doing good and when something's like weighing on you heavy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, the idea that you even have a support system or somebody there to even be like, hey bro, like, yo, are you good? It's like, it goes like a long way in a sense, or like, in a big picture. Shout out grandma, for
sure
lending you a hand, you know what I mean? Especially because the the terms on why we were there isn't exactly the best either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I'm, hell yeah, grandma for pulling up and, coming through.
Yeah, and saying something, you know what I mean? Like I said, it definitely, makes me want to kind of like take a step back, look at where I'm at, look at, what I'm kind of doing, with the way I'm feeling and the way I'm moving and stuff. So, yeah, I think last night it hit me. I had like a really bad anxiety attack. I like woke up like in like night sweats and like cold sweats and just like kind of like woke up like really worrying about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it led to me just like I'm like staying up and just like on and off, just like kind of thinking and going back and forth. And I don't know, it's always like kind of the Monday blues, right? Like today's Monday.
Yeah.
A lot of people like very unmotivated. A lot of people are very like kind of questioning what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
So, I like reminded myself of that, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I don't know, there is something up, you know what I mean? There is something that's kind of off of me, and I got to kind of like learn what that is, you know what I mean? And still, like, as I say that, like, I still I still don't really know what that is. But it's relieving to know like I got the support system. I took the day off of work just because to me mental health is like very important, especially like to the people that matter most to me. I always want to make sure everybody's good, but I had to take some time, and today I just stood home and slept, kind of slept it off, and then spent some time with Zara, and like really like we watched Moana 2, and that was like pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think like just getting back to the basics.
Yeah.
And just like yeah, like spending time with people that like give you that sense of relief and in love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just about to just kind of add on to that because like especially when I'm feeling down and I'm able to like see and have Mila present and like have her able to give her a hug, you know what I mean, and just tell her like, yo, thank you for being here, like it changes my mood completely as well, you know what I'm saying? So that just like I know what that can do for you as far as like healing processes go and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I think it's just finding those kind of things, that kind of calm you down, right? Like I think everybody kind of always feels pressure, and sometimes it's like unsurmountable, if you will.
mm-hmm.
So it's like finding those moments, right? Like whether it's hugging a loved one or seeing your little one smile or listening to your favorite song, whatever that may be. I think you just gotta find that time to do it, you know what I mean, and give your mind some space to like breathe a little bit.
Yeah, of course. That's one thing that I'm getting better at in general too, just because of my morning streams. Once a week I do like a meditation stream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's kind of a really important time for me during the week where I can kind of get myself, my mind straight and everything like that, and kind of do like a little bit of that healing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so whether that be, just kind of sitting there and focusing, or one thing that I find that really helps me is listening to different frequencies and shit like that. There's just like a bunch of them that you can kind of target, and it'll help with different chakras and stuff like that. Healing frequencies are they're just like sounds and frequencies that can like affect your physical, emotional, and mental health. So the frequency for that is like 528 for like to help with like or actually it's $3.96, I believe. But that's like hertz, and if you listen to just like sounds at that, then it just helps with anxiety and stress relief and stuff like that. But there's different frequencies that can target different things in different parts of your body and your chakras and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, because like we was talking like, I believe with fucking Mitch, right? You were talking about like hand
mudras
and like your body just kind of like being like an an electromagnet, like a magnet field or whatever the fuck you mean. I don't know the like sign. I'm not no science, but like, you know what I mean. Like, I think that has to do with music. You know what I mean? Because music is all vibrations, and it's it's tones and how your like how your brain kind of interacts with it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm like really big on that. You know,
and we kind of talked about this with the homie, but like, me, I'm a big believer in like audio medicine too. So like music therapy was like a huge like project that I did in high school and everything. And so like the belief for me is that healing can actually, like heal you and like make you feel better on top of like as a pain relief and on top of like helping you focus and stuff like that. Yeah. Right now, I'm about to start this book that's called Vibrational Medicine. Nice. So it's going to be, I think it's going to kind of like bring everything all together in, you know what I mean? Where music, sound, everything, and all of that is all vibrating, as are we as humans every moment, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm big. I'm big spiritual healing kind of guy, you know what I mean? I feel like meditation and all of that all helps encompass that and bring all of that all together into a subject. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I mean, one of the big reasons too that I wanted to come on here and like kind of talk about it and talk my feelings too was like, I think that's another way to kind of heal, is just talking through it, finding someone that you feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? And just kind of full on like being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Saying like, I'm a little down on myself right now. You know what I'm saying? And part of that is, like having a support system right there. You know what I'm saying? And having people that feed you that kind of stuff. Like, hey man, you should listen to this kind of music, or you should go exercise, or even having people that, anything you want to do, like, I'm always here to talk. I also like, it's funny because I know how open I am when I'm like tipsy and stuff. So it's cool to like wake up and and like get messages and stuff. So one of the things that happened this weekend too was Dana actually sent me like a message about like keeping negative people out of your circle. And I thought that was like really cool. Like, don't allow negative people into your corner. And that was like something big that I wanted to like talk about too, is just keeping those. That was kind of like the mood, you know what I mean? Like the theme of kind of what grandma was telling me too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, don't feed into those demons. Don't give into those kind of things. And it kind of resonated. So yeah, like just surrounding yourself and having those kind of like messages from people around you that want to help you. You know what I mean? Instead of like always just kind of either enabling you or, you know what I mean? Also at the opposite, like kind of bringing you down and kind of feeding you negative energy. So yeah, if that's the advice that people take away from this, I would just say like, keep your circle pretty clean, man. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I'm grateful for the people that I have around me. And I have to remind myself that a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, but as humans, I feel like you do have to remind yourself of what you do have and who you do have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel it, and I agree 100% completely, man. And just just know, bro, I got your back 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying? And if there's anything I can do for you or be there for you, I try to help you as best I can or whatever. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's why it's always us versus us, and you're my teammate, you're my quarterback. Nah, it's grateful. It's gratefulness always, and it's always love. So, just gotta keep that in my mind. You know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and then as we turn a note, you know what I mean, we'll kind of just turn up the excitement and stuff, just because well, one, we just got done with Raw, and Raw is on an unbelievable European tour right now.
They're just in Glasgow.
They were just in Glasgow, and it was a pretty solid our group of night, I guess you could say. Pretty epic, honestly, down to even the last part with fucking Penta
and Dom. I mean, well, immediately, there's a lot to talk about, but what as the secondary, right, wrestling fan of the Us versus Us podcast, what are you getting from the build to WrestleMania?
All of it's pretty intense. The John Cena stuff, I don't know, is kind of a little bit I'm not even too sold on like him being like full heel or anything like that. I think he's kind of just being a crybaby ass bitch. And then the girls match is pretty exciting, I think. With Bianca and
EO,
yeah, with a hint of fucking Rhea in there, is like, just to mix it up, is kind of cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But yeah, as we get closer, I'm just getting a little bit more hype and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, dude, I have to say, like, I'm pretty excited for the CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns match. Something tells me that triple threat's gonna be like pretty profound on the card, and probably, I don't know, like in the history of like this era, just three like big stars that like usually Vince would like force a title into that. That's like the old Vince way.
Yeah.
But now it's Trips, so like you don't need a title in it, and I like that. Like now it becomes storytelling, and I kind of like that about this match, because it is honestly like three of the best storytelling wrestlers like in the last like 10 years, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know, the freaking the Gunther shit is just that's another one. I think they need to do a little bit, like you're saying. I think they need to do a little bit better at building those like main title matches, because like it's getting a little bit redundant from like both sides.
Yeah.
I think like that's cool. What's cool, we see Gunther come out and beat Jey Uso's ass, but
it's not really it's not that cool, because we already know that like Gunther is gonna be like such like a challenge for Jey Uso, so it's like it'd be nice for them to create like another narrative that like creates the possibility of him, you know what I mean? I was just gonna like kind of go off into like the Jey Uso thing as well, just about like them like leaning into like the botches kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like
The slip tonight.
Yeah, the
was
slip
like,
tonight, and then it's kind of like I'm like, and then Jimmy,
like
Jim, talking about it with Gunther standing right on the other side of the wall. So those parts are a little for me. I mean, I would like for like Jey Uso to look like a star. You know
to
what I
like
mean?
have his moment.
Mhm.
You know, like what does he have over Gunther? I think what would be cool is instead of they did Gunther versus Jimmy, if they did like a tag team in Jay pin Gunther.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. Maybe like a schoolboy pin where he just rolls him up.
Yeah,
You
and
know
then
what I
they get
mean?
out of there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick. I could see that.
I don't think that hurts Gunther too much.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
It's like one of those things where it's like, oh my, what? It could
they
happen.
Snuck in.
Yeah.
They snuck in and got one.
Like it could happen. He could do it.
Yeah.
But I agree. Jay needs to be a little better built going into this. But also like there's no tag titles being built right now. There's no like the women's intercontinental.
Oh yeah, that was a tough watch today too, huh? What's her name?
Lyra Valkyria
There you go.
and Raquel Rodriguez. That's like, what are we doing with that? Bailey's somehow involved now. Like, if we're gonna give the title to Bailey, I would rather do it
like her just beating somebody up or something.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. But they just need to do something to make that title more exciting, you know, or Lyra, if you will.
Yeah. Just vamp her up just a little bit.
But overall, I think the promos tonight were pretty all right.
I thought the CM Punk one was stellar.
Yeah. CM Punk killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, I liked Cody's, you know, the whole like you're not gonna take the title from them because you gotta, you know, take it from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like, it's kind of like, oh, okay, Cody, like, it's a little dark, but
yeah. He's coming. He's talking some shit at least.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I wanted. Like I said, I didn't want like whiny Cody because then they would just be whining together.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, cool. Let John Cena be the whiny guy.
Yeah, for real. and I mean, like, people are doing a good job of hating him right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Especially because, you know, he's crying like a little girl. So it's like, whatever, dude, just shut up and you suck, bro. So, at least for this last run into WrestleMania, not really moving on, but like Complex, just dropped within the last day, the 10 greatest WWE matches of all time. Have you seen this list, probably?
I did. I need to pull it up again, though.
So it's a top 10.
Yes.
Should we just kind of go down the list? You tell me if you remember the match, or what do you think, or where would you rank it?
Or, yeah.
All right, so at number 10...
Yeah.
Complex ranks Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar at No Way Out 2004.
Definitely one of the most memorable matches of my childhood for sure. Just overall, like I said, the moment was huge. I remember watching it live and like just going wild because I did not expect Eddie Guerrero to win.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's like the infamous like green lowrider, right? Like he came out, or
yeah, it was one of his better lowriders.
Yeah, one of his like sickest lowriders when he came out, dude. And it was just, I remember a sick ass night for that night. I think the reason this also makes it onto the list though is as a tribute to Eddie. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of his best matches for sure. So I think it makes the cut because you got to give Eddie Guerrero a shout out.
Eddie Guerrero gets a top 10 match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough.
All right, we move down to number 9. Number 9 is going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Triple H. 3 stages of a hell match. No Way Out 2001.
Yeah, this is one of the ones where I gotta give Complex like a good like pat on the back because it's one of the solid ones that like good wrestling fans and like people that watch wrestling in those days, they'll tell you like that was one of the doper storylines until Triple H tore his fucking quadricep.
Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah, the 2-man power trip, that's what they called themselves. It was
the
back,
barbed wire.
Yeah, it was back when it was like it was such a fun time because like that main event scene was so cool. Like you had Kurt Angle, Triple H, the Rock was leaving for Hollywood, but he was in it. He was like, that was like prime Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, like Stone Cold. And then with the addition of the Invasion at that time, like shit was starting to get crazy. And so if Triple H wouldn't have torn his quads, I feel like wrestling would be a lot different right now. But good match. Solid match.
Rank it. Would you rank it higher or lower than 9?
I'm surprised it's on the list.
So lower.
So probably lower.
Okay. So number 8, John Cena versus CM Punk. It's a championship match at Money in the Bank 2011.
That was the CM Punk wave by, blow a kiss. Great storyline, great match. Probably one of the better storylines in this half of the century. Can I say that? No, because we're a little bit over that. Anyway, one of the better. I loved it. It was good. That was when CM Punk was doing the whole heist thing. It was dope. Put CM Punk in like the legendary status. I would rank it higher.
Okay. So like further, like closer to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. We got at number 7, Mick Foley versus The Rock. Championship match, no disqualification on Monday Night Raw, 1999.
Okay, so this one's one of the ones that, again, it's the moment more than the match, I would say. Especially because Stone Cold coming out at the end of it to fucking like.
Is that the beer bath?
No, that was just when he just came out. Like he had been on like a brief stint where he was off, and then he came back and just started stunnering everyone. And I believe no one thought Mankind was gonna win.
And he did.
I think he won.
Higher or lower?
That's one I'm surprised is on the list, so probably lower.
Okay.
But they do a lot of like very attitude era leaning towards with this.
Well, they got this one. They got Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodline Rules match at WrestleMania XL.
This is number 6.
Yeah, number 6.
Yeah, no, I'm down with it. I think I would do lower, but I would say the match itself is one of the better matches in this era of wrestling. The pops, the storyline, the overall like hype of the match was very like intense and just I thought it was cool. It would have been good to be there.
Higher or lower?
Lower, I would say. I would change. I would exchange that. I would trade CM Punk John Cena for that one.
Okay. At number 5, we got The Undertaker versus Mankind.
Hey,
Hell in a Cell match at King of the Ring.
let's go.
98.
98, baby.
Yeah, shout
Dude,
out.
I mean, I need not say more for the real wrestling fans out there, but if you have not watched it ever in your life, please take the time to go watch this match. This is the Mankind.
I've seen it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go watch it again.
This is the Mankind off the Hell in a Cell. This is the Mankind losing a tooth. This is like WWF Attitude era of wrestling at its finest. The theatrics, the drama, the idea of like, is this fucking shit even like, is this real? Like, what is going on?
They're popping off right now.
I think it should be higher.
Yeah.
I think that for me, top 3 at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's iconic in that sense, bro. Like, bro, yeah. At number 4, we have Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 12.
Ooh. Yeah.
Which is showmanship right there at its finest, right?
Two of the best in-ring competitors, I think, of not only their generation but of all time, right? An hour is a long match, though, so they get docked a few cool points on that aspect.
Just for making it too long.
Yeah, just because an hour, I'm like, dude, an hour of straight, like, I mean, and I'll be honest, them fucking going ham for an hour straight, in-ring work, selling, again, storytelling. It was good. It was good shit. But yeah, I mean, I would just, for my taste, it being an hour, it gets just docked a little bit lower than what it is right now.
Okay. For number 3, Shawn Michaels makes another appearance versus The Undertaker. Career versus streak match at WrestleMania 26. Yeah, 26.
Probably they're better of the two.
Mm-hmm.
You could go with either one. I would say top 2. I know it's 3. But I would say top 2. It's just so good. Watching it as a kid, like, I didn't want either to lose. So it's like, you watch that shit and it's like, oh man, every kick out is like, yes, and you just don't want either one to like
to really like,
hit that 3 count. But yeah, one of if not the greatest WWE match of all time, I would say. I think I have a personal favorite over that.
Okay. For number 2, well, did you want to say your personal favorite, or do you want to?
No,
or do you think because it's okay? Number 2, The Rock versus Stone Cold. The championship match at WrestleMania 17. Why does it say X-7?
Because it's like 10 plus 7. I don't know. They just made it like that.
Yeah, it's fucking. But yeah, WrestleMania 17. Sorry, brother.
Probably the greatest spectacle of all time, dude. Like, the two.
That's a good one.
Yeah. The two best of their time, of my time, that was my childhood growing up, was either like Rock or Stone Cold. I hated Triple H. But like, that was it. And at that time, that was our like Brady Manning.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was our like,
you went back and forth, bro.
It was just nuts, absolutely nuts. The storyline was crazy. It was like Vince did his very absolute best to build both of them up to that point to where neither one of them could lose. And that's what made the match fucking epic, because at the end of the match, we see Austin align with McMahon, which is like the culmination and probably like the symbolic end of the Attitude Era, if you will, or the starting of the end of the Attitude Era, if you will, with Austin teaming up with Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
So I think in that aspect, yes, it checks off each box, because like the dramatics of it, the wrestling in it was pretty good because they had already had built up chemistry. However, I will say, and this is my hot take about it, I prefer their WrestleMania 19 match over this one.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Well, it's a little bit more mature, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that was like Austin's last
that was
in
his
ring.
farewell.
Yeah. That's my I prefer that one over 17.
Think of the promos for that one for 19. The promos were goated for that.
Oh, so. Yeah, that was Hollywood Rock, baby.
Yeah,
and the Hollywood Rock theme song hits till this day. But yeah.
And then for number 1 overall, best WWE match ranked by Complex, we got Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, yes. WrestleMania 13.
Yes.
And goodness by golly, Prolly, we just watched that. We just watched that the other day, brother, and that's a good one. And the excitement for that one was so fire and shit. You know what I mean? Like watching that back was definitely super dope. Go ahead and give me your take.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think after watching that back, I've watched it a couple times, and I remember like watching it as a kid, but watching it back this time, I don't think you get any better.
Yeah, no.
Brett did his thing and worked with the way Stone Cold worked, and then at the end of it all, for Stone Cold to end the match the way it happened,
yeah,
I'm like, man, I do agree with Complex. That's probably, see, I do tough because I'm hipster. I don't like to agree with mainstream websites and shit like that, but that's definitely top 2, if not the greatest, I think, match of all time, just because it checks off all the boxes, but then what it does after, like, legitimizes Stone Cold to the point where then that's really when the push starts, and then that's like kind of where the torch got passed, really. Like, Stone Cold took that and just
he ran with it for like the next
5 years, five to 6 years, yeah. And did everything he did. After that, the next Mania, he's working with fucking Tyson and Michaels.
Yeah. So
then it's like, okay, and then after that, he headlines it again with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, he got his neck fucking broke, I think, but then after that, it's The Rock and him again.
Yeah, because he comes back.
Yeah,
and he's a menace, and that's when they're cutting like crazy ass promos.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I haven't maybe missed. I think I might have skipped one. I'll have to fact check me, wrestling nerds, because I think I'm skipping one. I think there's one in between that one, because that's like 13, right?
This one, yeah.
Yeah, so 14 would be no, I think I'm right. I'm skipping one between 99 and 1,000.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Tell me which main event that was. I can't remember those ones. I know Rock was involved in probably both of them.
If you could choose one match for honorable mention, pick one.
It's got to be Randy Steamboat, man. It's got to be Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania 3 for the Intercontinental Championship, man. Like, I don't do a lot of old wrestling, and it's because I just can't get into it. But if I were to choose one match to show anybody in the world old wrestling, it's Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania motherfucking 3, dog. Those boys like lit it up. So I would probably say that one.
Oh yeah. Well, fucking A, probably. That's it. That was like a pretty good list, I felt like, and you know, for you to hear your opinions on it, I fuck with it. So
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and we'll move on to our sports section of the Us versus Us podcast, which isn't too sportsy this week.
Right. Yeah. Just a lot of headlines, right?
Yeah, pretty decent amount of headlines, especially with the NCAA bracket. My dude, March Madness, right? Who there are no more perfect brackets anymore. That ended yesterday, I believe.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So no more of those. And just to be honest with you, Prolly, I did not even fill one out, bro.
Didn't fill one out.
No, did not even fill a bracket out this year. That's crazy, bro.
I don't blame you because I don't even think it's worth it, bro. I really don't like. I don't know. I guess the goal should never be to have a perfect bracket because that's like probably impossible, right?
Yeah, you'll be let down for sure.
But dude, after the first fucking day, like my shit was like completely like fucking
just trashed.
Ran through. More busted than a fucking clogged fucking sewer pipe. You know what I mean? Like crazy bad. But I mean, hey, like you gotta do your research, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just
I guess you gotta either know the teams, pay attention during the during season, or just be guessing really correctly. But I mean, for the most part, it seems as if the people who were supposed to win were winning. You know what I mean? There's only two big upsets, like McNeese being one of them, right?
Yeah, early on.
Mm-hmm. And then I can't really think of the other one. And then we were paying attention to the Colorado State team, you know what I mean, who win their first game, but then get
bounced by who they get bounced? Oh, by Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Off a buzzer beater.
Yeah, and which, bro, oh my God, controversial call.
Controversial buzzer beater.
Very controversial. Because on the video playback, on the replay, man, he clearly takes 3 steps. He clearly takes 3 steps.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, there's what?
A second and a half?
A second and a half.
A second and a half still.
On the clock. So
like, yeah, the ball goes through, and really they gotta blow the whistle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they don't blow the whistle, I guess that's why the clock runs. You
know
what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a. I don't go ref school. But in a time like that, I mean, like I was telling you, it's one of those things where if that whistle is blown, people are saying, "Oh yeah, that's a travel."
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they get a chance to actually like see it and not just like in real time. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I think that my point of just like kind of bringing that is just like after the bucket goes in, you know what I mean? There's not enough time to inbound it and shit anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the fact that they just like let it go, let it finish, and then they're like, oh, well, the game's over. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we're not going to go back
Mm-hmm.
and run over the replay because the game's over now. It's going to be how it is type shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, that's like what? That's the one buzzer beater of the tournament so far.
Yeah.
And yeah, like sure, we live for March. We want buzzer beaters, but like that's got to be a call you got to make. It's a boom boom play. You're not gonna sit there and count the guy's steps, but like really that's your job, right? Like
Yeah.
you got to be able to know like it goes. He picks the ball up, takes 1, 2, 3, and then shoots over the guy. At some point, yeah, like.
So then the question becomes like, what is like a gather step then, right? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Because if that's
Yeah.
what if that's clean,
Mm-hmm.
then a full on extra gather step would be ideal in any situation.
Right.
You can just start taking fucking 3 steps just to fucking shoot always.
I just need to learn the cheat code, because once I understand the cheat code, then I can understand why that shit's
Yeah.
like legal. I
Why
just
it's
don't
cool.
understand the cheat code. Like, is he picking up the ball like as he's stepping, and that's what makes it like that's not the step
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, it's got to be.
I don't know. Someone's got to clarify.
Well, I'm sure. I would hope the NCAA does. I mean, if we're talking about like clearing up calls, there was like a call that the NBA cleared up that happened last night in the Nuggets game,
Right.
which is very minor compared to, the CSU game.
Right.
And that's a call where AG is like not even close to Jalen Green shooting a 3, and he's they call a foul on him. Jalen Green gets 3 shots, really could have cost the game, but still not as drastic as going home in the big dance.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So I would hope and I would expect the NCAA to kind of like play that back and be like, bro, like, sorry, we fucked up on that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or the basketball aficionados in the world we all need to come together and figure this out, because I'm sure all of us have been watching the NBA for the last 4 or 5 years. Like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, I think that's a travel, dude.
Yeah.
Like, but
Dude, I'm so confused at this point of what it really is. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily know. You know what I mean? Because there's
Exactly.
so much. I'm constantly, and you probably get annoyed with me doing it, but whenever we're watching the game, I'm like, yo, that's a travel. Well,
yeah.
that's a travel.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Because people are just moving their pivot foot or taking that extra step. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I'm constantly like, yo, what
They're
is
like
this?
they're like shifting their pivot foot and stuff like that. Yeah, no, it happens a lot, and I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, as the viewer watching it, that's some of the things that puts you off NBA, that puts off the viewer, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we don't understand your rules and you bend them for certain players, and other players don't get the same call, and or you guys lean towards one call and that's like what you make, right? So because there's like that thing with SGA going on, right? Like, oh, he fouls and he draws, whatever, he shoots all these free throws. It's like, okay, if we're all gonna like, we're all being put off is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
By this whole, we're not trying to like not watch the game, but we're trying to understand what the fuck you guys are trying to do out there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. Other than that, other than the NCAA tournament, there's not really much going on with basketball. Well, the Jokic has been out.
Yeah, more of the same, but no Jokic for the last I think it's been like
a week.
Week now.
Mm-hmm. It's been like a week, and then they just announced yesterday that he has a possibility of coming back within the next 5 games. So they didn't give an exact time frame. They just said within the next 5 games.
Within this homestand, he's.
Yeah. So we'll see. It could be 1.
Yeah.
It could
I
be
mean,
5.
we've definitely seen the effects.
Oh gosh.
Quickly, briefly, what are some of the good things? What are some of the bad things that you're seeing when we don't have Jokic?
I think our AG. I'm doubling down on this from like last week, but like AG, he just like continues to prove why he's like a pivotal aspect. You know what I mean in our offense and what he can do, because you can tell he's got like one potential. You know what I mean? Like he could definitely be like a star somewhere else and everything like that. Jamal Murray, his scoring and contribution is always greatly appreciated. When he scores almost 40, you know what I mean, then it kind of makes up for Jokic's missing points that we're looking to grab. As far as like our defense to go though, like Peyton Watson is holding it down, just hustling overall and getting blocks, getting steals, just trying to causing havoc,
being Peyton
like that. Yeah, and I think he thrives off of playing with Russ. You know what I mean? It seems like when they're out on the floor together, he amps up everything.
That's his guy.
Nice. What about you? What do you?
I mean, good things are. I'll start with the bad things. I think just how gassed we might get. I think it scares me a little bit how kind of those younger guys, as we were giving them a shout out like a few weeks ago, it is starting to scare me because it's starting to be meaningful minutes. So we got to limit mistakes as much as we can. Which turnovers continue to be our problem. Even when Jokic is playing. So like that's not even just something that. But good things is one thing that I think I'll give a shout out to is the way Malone is working the guys into the lineups.
You liking the rotations?
I think we're starting to see a little bit of creativity. You know what I mean? I think at some point when Jokic was playing, when those non-Jokic minutes, right, as everyone calls them, when it would happen, there was like some sort of stagnancy that like we have to play Najee, or like we have to play Jordan, or even AG sometimes. But now it's like we're playing by the matchup, and I kind of like that. We seen DeAndre start yesterday, have a solid game. He's mixed Peyton into the starting lineup. He's mixed Russ into the starting lineup. He's taken Russ out of the starting lineup, So he's starting to become more of like, how can I win this game? And I'm liking that. Like I'm liking the idea of Malone coaching to win games instead of coaching to
not lose.
Yeah, I guess you can say not lose, but like when you don't have your star player, it's easier to do that. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like Malone has gotten very adamant at like, we're gonna run through Jokic. We need Jokic's minutes to like be like the most we get out of this game. You know what I mean? And he has to touch the ball every time. And so when you don't have that, then you start to have to adjust. You start to have to say like, all right, when I don't have that, how can I get whatever kind of production? And it's hard to get Jokic kind of production out of a DeAndre Jordan or a Zeke Najee or
a collective of both of those guys.
Yeah, right, right. I mean? Yeah, so when you do have AG cooking and you can get the contribution from the players around that, shout out to Jamal too. I think he's someone that we kind of were hard on for like a good majority of after All-Star break, or even a little bit before that too. Even though he dropped 50, I think, before All-Star break, started getting hype again. But shout out to Jamal, because he's took that responsibility, I think, that we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
He's finally starting to not only take the reins, but also feed everybody when he needs to.
Yeah, I think he looks great and everything like that. One thing I did actually that they were talking about yesterday is just their film session that got like kind of loud, got like a little heated and everything like that. Do you think that that's reflective in their playing or?
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be some kind of fire, right? You know what I mean? So when guys are holding each other accountable, the only way you can kind of, I don't know, prove yourself, right, is on the court. And sometimes it may be in practice, but I think our guys are game guys.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, I think they like to take the opportunity in big games or just any game, really, to kind of showcase if it is frustrations or if it is like that sense of urgency. You can tell. Like, you could tell when Maul is fired up, you know.
Yeah.
Same with MPJ. He's probably the worst on our team at showing it. But, you know, you can definitely tell when he is feeling himself, you know. So I think it's reflective, but I hope it's not too personal. You know, I hope it definitely is for the sake of us holding each other accountable and saying, hey, this is a championship team.
Yeah, we got to do things the right way in order to make the push that we need to. All right, Prolly. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get up out of here, man, because it's coming up on that time. Go ahead and hit them with your social medias like we always do, brother.
All right, man. Look, it's getting closer and closer. We're almost hitting the 4th month of the year, right? But I got a show 420 at the Rick House, presented by Concert. It's a 420 show. Doors open at 4. Hit me up for tickets. If you are interested in buying tickets, follow me on Instagram at my name is Prolly, on TikTok at my name is Prolly97, and we'll get the shit cracking. What about you, Tree? Oh fuck, got my YouTube.
You're good. I can shout that out for you, man. Because I do got a couple of music videos up on his YouTube. My name is Prolly Official. Go run those up and go check those out. And then also you can find all of my work at #_Deion. Spell out the hashtag. And that's on everything, all platforms, X, IG, Twitch, anything you can think of, Discord, whatever. I'm there with that name. So, also go check out our official YouTube page for the Us Versus Us podcast. That's at the Us Versus Us pod. Yeah, that just has all exclusive content for our channel or for our our podcast and whatnot, including like clips and the full episodes. We're double dropping every week for the next 8 weeks or 7 weeks now. No, 6 weeks. 6 weeks now. Where we drop one of the old episodes and the new episode every Wednesday. So go check that out, run that up. Prolly, I appreciate you so much, brother, for always locking in, coming in and doing this with me, man. I appreciate it. Your opinions, bro, they blow my mind and shit. You know what I mean? So.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the platform. I appreciate the community we're building. Us versus us, definitely something special, something I always love to brag about. So if you do subscribe, if you do follow us, make sure you guys are interacting. Make sure you guys are keeping up to date with everything we're doing. And feel free to always chime in. So thank you, Tree. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
And we're going to get up out of here. Whether you listen for 5 seconds or the whole hour, I appreciate you so much. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Love.
Leave me alone, I might need me a sec. I need it. it, I need me a check. I need it. Saying with love, now that I'm found, I really need my respect. I really need it. Nobody but me in my head. Nobody. I'ma do me till I'm dead. Do me. If I gotta fight for my soul, then fuck it, I might as well go for the neck.